Here we go. All right, so we're going to jump right into it. We're going to be talking about mindset. I talk a lot about mindset because it's so important. It's not about your ability. It's not about your talent. Don't think that somebody, they better off than you or they got a better skill than you. Look at that person that has those skills and know that they put in work for those skills, right? They had to get to that level. They put in the work. Now you didn't see the work, right? But know that it's not based off someone else's success. Is not based off ability. It's based in ability and talent. It's based off of their efforts that they put in. Some people will see that they have to put in effort into something and they turn the other way. Other people are see the effort that they have to put in and they're going to say, man, I'm going to get an opportunity to dive into this. Oh, I could just imagine when I'm reading this book how much, knowledge I'm going to gain, how much better I'm going to be at the end. But other people is thinking like, man, I have to put in so much work. This is going to take me so much time. Man, I don't think I'm going to put it off. I'm going to do it later. I'm going to get to it knowing doggone well they not going to get to it. They not going to do it. Right? And that's just about being true to oneself too. What's your philosophy about yourself and about life and about your life, most importantly, right? So mindset, the psychology of learning and achievement, okay? So let's get into it. We're going to talk a little bit about the agenda. There's two mindsets, right? We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about the motivational framework supporting mindsets. We're going to talk about praise, right? And this is right here can almost be controversial when you get into praise, but it's going to really give you the foundational groundwork to really look at how we talk to children, right? Because that's really the developmental stage right there. That's really what sets the tone for the rest of life, right? And then while we're looking at how we talk to children, it's going to make us think, how were we talked to? How were things presented to us? How were we rewarded and what things we were rewarded for? And you got to look at, if there's a problem, you really got to look at what the root cause of the problem was or is, right? So it's going to get real deep. We're going to talk about the brain, how the brain works, right? And we're going to talk about lasting change. And then we're going to summarize everything up, okay? So two mindsets. Are people born smart, right? I don't think so. This is Prime Minister Winston Churchill. He repeated a grade during elementary school, okay? He was placed in the lowest division and the lowest class. Composer Beethoven. Teachers called him a hopeless composer, and he wrote 5 of his greatest symphonies while deaf, right? So you can't tell me that talent is or ability is. The man was deaf. He couldn't even hear the music. He had to feel the vibrations of it. So you think that was just a gift that was given to him? He was stripped of one ability and was given another gift? No, I think he had to put a lot of work in for that, right? Let's talk about Leo Tolstoy. Dropped out of college, was described as both unable and unwilling to learn. Okay? And then we look at our role models. Einstein's, his teacher said that he was academically subnormal. Michael Jordan's coach said that he wasn't more talented than other people. We know the Michael Jordan story. And what did he tell you? He went to work and put in the effort over the summer, right? Look, Walt Disney was told that he lacked creative imagination. I'm gonna throw another one in this for you. Kanye West say in one of his songs, I locked myself in the basement doing beats for 6 summers. Man, if you're not willing to give your business more than 6 months of consistency, it's a problem. Don't expect to be great, right? Expect to be late. You late to the party. I'm always missing opportunity, right? No, you're missing the preparation piece. You're missing the effort piece, right? People are made, not born, right? The growth mindset. This is the way my intelligence works. It's a box, right? This is me. This is what it is, right? That's one mindset. The other mindset is no, intelligence will grow and develop. See, You might have took that IQ test when you were in grade school and didn't do well on it, but somebody else did pretty good. Oh, they smarter than me, and they're gonna be smarter than me for the rest of their life. I ain't got no chance. They just smart. No, I know when I didn't do good on that test, it's because I really wasn't applying myself, right? Intelligence can be grown, right? We're not born intelligent, right? Mindset is related to your belief about your ability. It creates a whole mental world for you to live in. I just got to slow down right there for a second because they basically saying you build your own house, you build your own castle, whatever you what if like okay, yeah, we have to build a house and we have to pay money for that. But where we live in our space, this mind space that we have, right? You don't have to pay for that. You can create that with any. I always used to say this a long time ago. I don't know if the people that have great sense are living a better life, or the people that don't have great sense of living, maybe they live in bliss. See, because when you have that power, that ability to create what space you live in, it can be either a really great thing or a very dangerous thing. Okay. A fixed mindset. Ability cannot change. They don't think that their ability can change. A growth mindset is ability can change and grow. Okay. So let's look at this right here. A set of 6 studies of children. Okay. Praised for effort versus praise for ability. Right. When it came to goals, those that were praised for effort, 90% of the group created learning goals. When it praised for ability, they created performance goals, right? So when they did that, we talk about how much did they enjoy the process. I keep telling everybody, enjoy the process. Enjoy the process while you stressed out. Enjoy this, man. Enjoy this, sis. Enjoy this king. Enjoy this queen. This is amazing. Like I'm reaping so many benefits from the process. They enjoyed it. But when they were praised for ability, they didn't enjoy it as much. It was decreased. Persistence, they wanted to keep going because I can't lose. I can't lose. I'm winning. Why would I want to stop this? I'm feeling good. My endorphins is flowing. My brain, I feel it growing. But those that were praised for ability, their persistence decreased because every time something went wrong, they beat themselves up. Their performance improved because naturally, if you're enjoying something and you're persistent with it and you're basing it off and you're not worried about, your performance is going to improve. You're going to win by default. But when you were praised for the ability, it declined. When they were praised for ability, right? When they were praised for effort, right? Did they lie about their scores? One individual did. But on the other side, 40% lied about their scores because they knew that they would be praised for doing something well. So even if they didn't, hey, did you finish that project you was working on? The boss saying a deadline, oh, it's done, yeah. Right? Oh, it's amazing. And they turn it in and it's subpar, right? But see, when you praise for your efforts, right? You enjoy the process, you are learning the process. Hey, I know when I turn in, it's not going to be ridiculed. I'm free to be me. Ugh, I hope y'all got that. I hope y'all got that. Free to be you, right? And that comes with knowing who you are. Going back to it, what's your philosophy? Come on, man. Drop some fire in the chat if y'all picking this up. This guy used to say, man, are you picking up what I'm throwing down? Man, drop some fire in the chat if you're picking this up, man. Come on now. All right, so look, let's go to the next slide. All right. Motivational framework, supporting mindsets, goals, responses, effort, and strategies. All right. Goals are things that we aim for, right? Goals are performance. Those with a fixed mindset tend to create performance goals. Those that believe that a person's potential has been measured, they aim to receive validation from others. Okay. See, when you know yourself, when you know your philosophy, like it's no competition. When somebody says, When they say it and they truly mean it, the only competition I have is me. See, they're not driven by performance. They're not worried about what somebody else does. They just know if they put the work in and effort in, they're gonna be great. Right? And I enjoy the process versus if someone else doesn't enjoy the process, they're not gonna put as nearly as much work in. Right? Receiving low marks mean that they were not smart. Right? Both success and failure cause anxiety. Right? That's that fixed mindset. Right? Goals, learning. Those with growth mindset tend to create learning goals. I'm going to add something to my plate. Do y'all remember the last Zoom that I did and I start talking about stretch your nervous system? You know, they create, like, if you enjoying the process, if you truly like, I'm locked in, this is what I want to do, you're going to create learning. You're going to create more stuff for yourself to do as far as learning. Not just what's given to you, not just what's handed to you, not just this is the synopsis, this is the agenda. No, you're going to add some more onto that. Well, let me see, how does that work? And let me dig into this, right? The goal is mastery and competence. We talked about this last week. I talk about this all the time. Become a master of something. You don't just want to be a jack of all trades and a master of none. Become a master of something. Become competent. Know this thing like the back of your hand, right? Kanye, I don't know why I'm referencing Kanye West. You can't tell me nothing. When somebody say that, they truly competent. When it comes to the beats, Kanye West said, you can't tell me nothing. Then he said, when it comes to the rhymes, you can't tell me nothing. Kanye just here today. I don't know y'all, right? Matter of fact, I played him in the beginning. Maybe that's why it's on my mind. Okay, scores and marks reflect how people are doing now and do not measure a person's potential. Stop worrying about how well you're going to do in the future. Just look at what you're doing right now. Put the work in right now. Stop worrying about if I go at this pace, I'll never get. Growth is a multiplication. It multiplies itself. It's not addition, okay? Creating goals and learning has shown to increase performance and enjoyment and decrease negative emotion. I'll be telling everybody, don't start your sentence and say, oh, I'm doing great, but I didn't get a sale. I didn't get this, or I didn't get. Stop. Cut that out. Stop with the negative. Stop looking for. See, you like we do that when we're judging ourselves on our ability, off our production versus off us building and growing. Right? You never hear me say, "Oh yeah, today was a great day. I did this and this, but I didn't get no signups. I didn't get a customer. I didn't get a pre-approval. I didn't get." What's the point? What's the reason to even say that? Right? Focus on the positive, right? Enjoy the process, right? And then our responses, how we react to events, right? The response, helpless. When you have that fixed mindset, when faced with failure or challenge, people with a fixed mindset. Where's my screen? Here we go. Okay. They do not pay attention to learning the information, right? See, when you face with an obstacle, right, or you lose in a situation, see, you still got to look at the good side. How can I learn from this? How can I get better? Not, oh, okay, man, I got a no, or they didn't do this, or they didn't respond to me, or deal didn't go through, or whatever, and all you see is the defeat. The helpless, I can't do nothing. I just no, you can take. It's never a loss. It's always a lesson. Come on now. Okay, an individual with a fixed mindset will get depressed, become de-energized, and lose self-esteem. All right. Denigrate their intelligence. They say things bad. They kick themselves. I'm stupid. Right. That's what they'll think. I'm dumb. I just don't know how to do this. I can't. Other people are better. You don't want to fall into that trap. Okay. Underrepresent past successes over overrepresent failures, pessimism, right? So you cannot disregard this past successes you had. You got to look at those, and they got to remain just as important over any failures that you might have had as well. Because remember, there are no failures. If you learn from it, you got experience in it, you've gained something, right? Explain the cause of events as something stable about them. Oh, it's just me. It's just how I always been. I never win at anything. You ever heard somebody say that? I never win nothing. Well, I don't think you ever gonna win anything. You keep saying that. Me, I'm trying to use telekinesis that I'm gonna win. We was playing bingo in Las Vegas. I'm sending messages I'm trying to send messages through my brain that I'm gonna win. Like that number gonna pop up like through the machine. I'm always trying to win. Always. I'm never thinking I'm gonna lose, right? You always want to win, right? Mastery, right? You want to win, right? But you don't want to get down on yourself. But yeah, the effort is everything, right? But think positive, right? Response when it comes to mastery, and pay attention to learning the information and do better on future tests, right? So when your test could be in school, it could be the next call you have, it could be the next networking event you have, it could be the next showing of a house, it could be whatever the case may be, right? Mastery. Focus on what they are learning rather than focusing on how they feel. Man, you got to remove emotions. You got to remove emotions. You got like, it's like you can have, your brain got two sides. It's got like two voices. And it's like, the devil and the angel. And they both talking at the same time, but you gotta block those emotions out. Okay. And then when you look at mastery, they try out doing new things. If anybody knows, one of my sayings is ABT. Always be testing. Trying different stuff. Let me try it this way. Let me try this way. But see, that's when you're trying to master something. And so the only way you can really try new things is you got to take the emotion out of it, because you think, man, if I try something else, maybe it won't work. And then I'm going to feel bad if it don't work. And maybe I did it wrong. And maybe I just blew some deal that I would have had. Get past all of that. You got to see what works. You got to always be testing. Even if you run a Facebook ad and says, do you want to test it? A/B testing, right? If you ever try to run a Facebook ad, they even give you that option. Like, do you want to test it? Use self-motivating statements such as, the harder it gets, the harder I try, right? The bigger they are, the harder they fall. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's a different mentality versus, man, that's too hard. I'm not going to try. Man, they too big. He ain't going to never fall. Right? Like you gotta think, in a different perspective, right? When faced with tests which are impossible to pass, they will factor in other reasons, not to blame their intellect. The test was beyond my ability for now. They got the best of me. I wasn't prepared for it, but next time, man, wait till they see me next time, right? When someone loses the NBA championship in the finals, the only thing they want to do is get better and learn from it over the summer so they can come back and be in that same position again to win, right? That's it. Okay. All right. So I got to move this screen. Let's see. Effort. Is it required for success? All right. Let's talk about effort. What do you guys think? Those with a fixed mindset view effort as a reflection of low intelligence. If I got to put in this much work, I must not be doing something right. It must be me. It's just not normal to have to put this much work in, especially with social media and we watching everybody else and they look like they winning. And okay, well, it can't be this much work that has to be put in. Hard works mean I don't get it. I'm unintelligent. Effort means lack of ability. That's what they think. But those with a growth mindset see effort as a necessary part of success. I gotta go harder. I gotta do better. I can't talk about what I have going on in my life because it really don't matter if I plan on being successful. Man, I would like to do this and I want to be great and I want to have the house and a car and I want my family to be straight, but I got so much on my plate. Well, I've seen some people go to the buffet and get some meals and they put a lot on their plate and they stack it up on levels. You know what I'm saying? Like, but when it comes to that emotional plate, it's too much. Now we got to stretch our nervous systems and understand that hard work. What does Mayweather say? It's a lot of Mayweather people that don't like Mayweather. Hard work is easy work. Hard work is easy work. Hard work is easy work. Come on. It's easy. This ain't work for me. That's what he's saying. I do this all day, all night if I have to. Right? This me at the playground, y'all. Right? They try harder when faced with setbacks. Effort equals success. They use effort to overcome difficulty, right? Shout out to Bossy because Bossy couldn't be here today, right? Drop some prayers for Bossy, of course, for him and his family, right? But look, Bossy always say, nobody gonna outwork me. He don't say nobody gonna be more intelligent than me, nobody gonna be smarter than me. He said nobody's gonna outwork me, right? So when you got that growth mindset, you're gonna use effort to overcome difficulty. Okay. So let's look at effort. Oh, sorry. Let me stop this right here. Okay. People were asked about intelligence and how much they thought it was down to effort. It came down to effort and how much they thought it was about ability, right? Intelligence equals, right, a certain percentage of effort and a certain percentage of ability. A fixed mindset said 35% effort, 65% ability. You don't have the talent, you're not going to be great. It's all talent. It was born like that, right? A growth mindset says 65% effort and 35% ability. Okay. Effort mindset is one thing having brains and talent, right? But it won't give you success. I don't need to put out effort. Things will come to me. I've heard people say that, right? I'm going to just manifest it. I'm not going to put the effort in. I'm going to wheel it my way, right? I'm going to just put it out there, right? You can't. So a dream manifestation without effort, a dream is a fantasy. I hope y'all know that. Manifestation without effort is a fantasy. It's not reality, right? You want to take something that, is not real, not tangible. It's you can see it in your mind and your brain. We might even say a dream or manifestation without effort. You might as well be David Blaine. What's this? David Blaine, ain't that the guy who do magic? Right? You might as well be a magician. Okay? Strategies, how to reach success. Growth mindset. People adopting a growth mindset tend to generate other and new ways to doing things. They're coming up with new strategies, new plans. They're getting better, tweaking it here, changing one word there. Right? They always look, I got a better way. I'm coming up with right? They always thinking, how can I get better? How can I get better? If one route doesn't work, they will try others. They will think outside the box to solve problems because they believe that they can. I know I can. Even if I did it wrong this time, even if it wasn't right, even if I didn't get the result, I know I can do this. Let me just tweak it, right? A scientist, they would just tweak something, right? They would do 1,000 experiments for the 1,001 time to work. Strategies for a fixed mindset. Well, Carol Dweck has found that students with a fixed mindset keep using the wrong strategy when faced with the problem. What's the definition of insanity? To keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Come on now. That's a fixed mindset. Then they disengage from the problem because they saying, man, it ain't working. And then they finally give up. They didn't even try to fix. They didn't even try to let me adjust. Let me try something different. Let me see what works. Let me ask other people. Let me look at other people. Let me read books on it. Like, hey, I tried it. It didn't work. I'm out. This done. It's too hard. I'm gone. I'm going back. I'm getting my 9 to 5 job. Y'all crazy over here. That's what they're going to say, right? Talking about an entrepreneur. Praise. Let's talk about praise. People are very sensitive to the messages they receive about themselves. The way we interact with young people can foster either growth or a fixed mindset. Now, you might say, Aziz, why are we talking about young people? We all adults. Well, for one, we all got, well, not all of us, but we all got some kids or nephews or nieces or whatever, right? And if we don't have kids, we're going to end up having kids, right? Well, we're going to affect some youth in our life at some point. So it's good to know. But more than that, sometimes you got to look at why your mindset is the way it is. And sometimes we got to go back to our childhood. We got to go back to our roots and say, okay, was I talked like this too, or presented things like this when I was a youth? Was that when I was young, right? Praise for effort versus praise for ability, right? Ability, praise for ability. Praising children's intelligence puts them in a fixed mindset. Praise gives confidence and helps achievements, right? You can see right here, she's painting. She said, I always need praise. I'll always need praise because the mom says, fabulous. You're going to be the next Monet based off praise of how she's doing with the painting, right? Right? Praise, talent, or intelligence, right? Can change of a young person's mindset from growth to fixed, right? Encourages young people to create performance goals and display a helpless response when faced with challenges. Encourages young people to lie about scores. Undermines motivation and willingness to take risk. Okay, so let's look at a different type of praise for effort. Praise the effort that leads to success, right? It's not about the big bang at the end. Well done for constructing this. It's up to me to light the torch paper, okay? Praise for effort. Encourages people to adopt growth mindset, encourages people to create learning goals and display mastery response when faced with setback. Increases motivation and success. We always talk about praising individuals for sending out their messages, sending out their scripts, going to networking events. We're not praising a deal that's closed. We're praising the efforts. We're praising the those that want to learn, that want to dig in. I stress the foundation of learning because it's so important, right? Praise is not the villain, right? It's good to feel appreciated and encouraged as long as it's the right praise. Tell me about the colors you chose, right? Good feedback is important. Constructive criticism is necessary when we want people to develop and learn. You got to be open to constructive criticism, right? There's going to be praise, but if there's something that could be done better, you want to welcome that. Okay, don't look at it like it's a bad thing. It's not the villain. Praising for the effort and the process will help the person become more motivated and ultimately more resilient. Okay, now let's look at the brain. You got the frontal lobe, the parental lobe, the temporal lobe, and the occipital lobe. All right, the frontal lobe. Okay, these are the lobes. You see the man thinking, right? You see over here, that's the parental lobe, that's the parenting, right? The occipital lobe, that's the vision, right? All of these things feed back to the brain. The temporal lobe, that's the ability to hear. The body in the brain. There's parts of the brain that are designated for certain parts of the body. That's why you want to keep reading. You want to keep reading. You want to keep soaking up knowledge. Because watch this. The homunculus, if I said that right, is used to describe the relative amount of space our body parts occupy in the brain. In a model of a motor functions, some parts are much bigger because we use them much more or with more accuracy. So you can see the brain here, and this is the body and the brain together, right? The more we use a part of our body, the more space our brain needs to control or interpret it. In fact, by learning, the brain may have to change the space it uses to account for new abilities, right? You want to feed your brain, food for the brain, okay? We feed our bodies, let's feed our brains too. People who play music have found to have an auditory centuries that are bigger than normal. The sound area of their brain grew through practicing their music. Evidence of neuroscience. Rats in a rich environment have heavier brains by 10% than those in boring environments. Man, a seed will not grow sitting on a table. You gotta put a seed. You are the seed. You gotta surround yourself and put yourself in a thriving environment, right? Some people don't put themselves in a thriving environment because they're worried about it being challenging. Now you gotta throw yourself in it, right? You gotta dive in it, right? Taxi drivers have bigger areas when they deal with 3D space, the hippocampus, than non-taxi drivers because they're using that sensory a lot. They got good perception, right? Musicians have a larger auditory cortex, okay? Like sound communication, all of these areas of the brain, like sound communication, problem solving, are made of cells called neurons. They transmit information all around the brain. It's important to study the brain, right? Neurons pass information through connections with other neurons in synapses, okay? Learning helps our neurons grow. The more we learn, the more connections we make. Never stop learning. It's very important. All right. People with large auditory areas in their brain grew lots more neurons connections in the sound area through lots and lots of practice. They weren't born with it. Came through practice, right? Very important. Final proof. Babies aren't stupid. They grow connections, right? They're not, you don't look at a baby and say, oh man, you don't know how to talk, bro? What's wrong with you, man? That baby you must be dumb, baby. I know how to talk. Don't forget man, bro, you don't know how to walk. You can't even hold your neck up. Come on, man. Like, we don't talk to babies like that because we understand it's a process. But see, the process is never supposed to stop. It's supposed to be an ongoing process. Another thing you don't see is babies give up. They keep trying. Somewhere along the lines, we got smarter than babies. When babies is probably more smarter than us. See, the thing is, it could be a gift and a curse. When those neurons start connecting and we start getting smart, now we had too much of an ability to think. And what I think, my opinion, we start being able to have too many emotions involved, too many thoughts, too many outcomes and results of situations that we're visualizing them going bad. A baby don't know. They don't know if that's the problem, though. They don't. But then it's a gift and a curse because they don't know if they touch the pot when it's on the stove, it's hot and they can get burned. So you just got to be very aware and very conscious of the power of your brain because it will stop you like hitting a Mack truck if you allow it. Or it can be the Mack truck and plow through everything, right? The brain must develop billions of connections. Every green dot is a junction between one nerve and another, okay? Lasting change. Dweck suggests that we need to present young people with information on the brain and its huge potential, including how the brain learns. I used to study the brain. I was always fascinated by it, right? Praise for strategies, effort, and processes rather than for intelligence or ability. Everybody not going to be great at the same things. It's okay if you see somebody great at something else, right? That just means they put in effort. They had more experience. They got a different situation. Doesn't mean you can't get to that level or surpass them, right? But you shouldn't even be worried about that, because the only person you should be concerned with is the man or the woman in the mirror. Positive stories provide people with role models of those individuals who have successfully who have succeeded because of their growth mindset. So, you want to read these stories and see like, hey, I wasn't the only one that might have struggled, right? Everybody has a story to tell. Writing about your growth mindset experiences in order to convince others will deepen your own growth mindset, right? That's why you got these philosophers and people that have went through trials and tribulations and reached success, and they wrote books about it, right? If I could do it, so can you, right? And in summary, a growth mindset helps people to be motivated and to succeed. A growth mindset can be learned, okay? We can foster a growth mindset in others by the type of feedback we give by teaching them about the brain's huge potential, right? And role models give people evidence of the growth mindset in action. If I've seen someone else can do it, I can do it too. All right, so that's my piece, y'all, right? Thank y'all for coming out. I hope y'all got some value out of it. Man, let's take it to the next level. This is this editions of our HRU and our team meeting, and looking forward to seeing you all at the next one. Let's take it to the top. Let's go.
Hey, let's go. See you at the top.
Let's go. Send me that presentation.
I got you.
See y'all at the top, family.